Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. You know the drill. We are going to review the leader career mechanics. If I reference mechanics you are unfamiliar with, there's a link in the description to my new player guide. Leaders are focused on buffing allies, forcing them to take additional turns, increasing their momentum, and healing them. Owlcat provides a warning not to take this career if you plan to play for more than 10 hours, because the only advancement career you can select is Vanguard, which focuses on being a tank or frontline fighter. Leader focuses on building willpower and fellowship, so obviously that is a poor upgrade and your progression will suffer after level 15. The characteristics and skills associated with Leader are fellowship, willpower, toughness, weapon skill, ballistic skill, persuasion, commerce, coercion, carouse, and lore imperium. You automatically get 2 Keystone abilities, and the first is Voice of Command, which increases a target's characteristics by 5 plus twice your fellowship bonus for 1 turn. Additionally, a leader can target an ally affected by Voice of Command with other abilities from any distance. You are prevented from targeting the same character a second time with Voice of Command for 2 turns. You use this constantly, not only for what it does directly, but also because of how many different leader abilities it impacts. The other Keystone ability is Bring It Down, which allows an ally to immediately take a turn with no movement points and action points equal to half your fellowship bonus. If that ally is under the Voice of Command effect, then they gain momentum equal to twice your fellowship bonus when killing an enemy. Monster ability, especially when you use it on a damage dealing character who is set up in the right situation. Outside of these 2 options, there's also a list of abilities unique to the leader class. Move gives an ally movement points they can immediately use equal to your fellowship bonus. If the ally is under Voice of Command, they ignore attack of opportunities until the end of your turn. Oftentimes I will use Voice of Command followed by this ability to get a damage dealer in a good spot, and then Bring It Down helps the character clear more enemies. Definitely a great pickup. Get Back in the Fight lets one ally immediately recover from burning, bleeding, toxin, and stun effects. If that ally is under the Voice of Command effect, then they will gain temporary wounds equal to twice your willpower bonus. Enemies love using grenades and environmental hazards that cause these effects, so I would definitely recommend picking this up. Air of Authority increases an ally's resolve by an amount equal to your resolve until the end of combat. If that ally is under the Voice of Command effect, they'll gain 1 additional action point. Remember, resolve scales off your fellowship bonus, which should be very high, so this is definitely worth picking up. Break Their Ranks can only be used on allies that have enemies adjacent to them. It applies bonus damage to that ally's melee attacks equal to half your fellowship bonus multiplied by the number of enemies adjacent to the ally at the time this is activated. If the ally is under the Voice of Command effect, then they immediately make an attack of opportunity against an adjacent enemy with the lowest remaining wounds. Yet another fantastic leader ability that you should consider picking up. Sensing a pattern yet? 2 Meat can be used on allies within 20 cells of you, and it will pull that target towards you in the shortest possible path. If that ally is under the Voice of Command effect, they get a bonus to armor equal to twice your willpower bonus until the end of your turn. If the ally remains next to you, then any attacks against you will apply to the ally instead until 2 Meat ends. This could be useful to put a tank next to you if things get hairy, but honestly, I don't think it's worth the investment. Take Aim causes an ally's next attack to ignore cover and have double the effective distance. If the ally is under the Voice of Command effect, this attack will ignore dodge, and damage cannot be reduced below 30 plus 3 times your fellowship bonus for any reason. Boss Killer. Put this on your best sniper and let them go to town against a well-armored boss enemy. Quick note before we review leader talents. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate you hitting the like button. This information lets me know which videos the community is enjoying. If you want to support this kind of content, please consider becoming a member of the channel, where you will get access to full playthrough episodes. We've reviewed all the unique abilities this career has, so let's switch over to the talent list. Commanding Voice increases the range of all your abilities by 3, while the range of Voice of Command increases by 6. Absolutely, you want to pick this up. Your leader is probably not the kind of character you want roaming about, so they need to be able to apply useful abilities from way back behind cover. Steel Resolve increases the leader's resolve by 3. Not the worst pickup, but I think there are better options. Blood of Martyrs triggers when an ally uses a heroic act, and it will cause them to gain temporary wounds equal to 10% of their maximum wounds plus your resolve. Remember that momentum is team-wide, so if you pick this up, you can strategize around allies who have been hurt the most being the ones to use their heroic act. Focus triggers every time a leader uses an ability on an ally and will provide them with a bonus to perception and ballistic skill equal to your fellowship bonus. These bonuses stack, but half of the stacks rounded up are lost at the end of the ally's turn. If you have a couple of party members focused on ranged damage, this is definitely a fantastic pickup. Inspired Courage causes the first ally you target every turn to receive temporary wounds equal to your willpower bonus. Leaders should be targeting allies every turn, so this is another great way to seamlessly make your leader a medic. Personal Oversight causes any ally that has been a target of the leader's ability or attack to gain a +1 bonus to resolve until the end of the leader's next turn. This effect stacks and is prolonged every time you stack it. I am not a big fan of this because usually I have the leader bounce abilities around the entire team instead of focusing on the same character over and over again, but your playstyle may be different. Physical Encouragement is triggered when an ally starts a turn next to you and provides them with additional movement points equal to half your fellowship bonus. I don't like this because my leader is usually stationary, so the characters who need to move around the most aren't going to be next to you. Iron Discipline causes any ally who's affected by a leader ability to get an increase to all resistances equal to twice your willpower bonus. At this time, I don't think the game provides enough information about how resistances work, so I'm not really sure if this is good or bad. Breaking Point gives allies affected by Bring It Down 1 additional action point, but if they finish the turn with 0 action points, they'll take damage equal to your willpower bonus. Yeah, I'm not a fan, so I skip this. Lasting Impression causes half of your voice of command bonuses to remain until the end of combat. This bonus does not stack, but that's still a pretty nice consistent increase for your characteristics, so I would take this. Exemplar of Heroism is triggered when an ally uses a heroic act and causes the next leader attack to cost 0 action points. I never attack with the leader, so this is unattractive to me. Lead by Example gives you a +5 bonus to fellowship every time you attack. Again, I never attack with this character, so even though the bonus is really nice, I skip this. Armor of Contempt is triggered every time an ally gets temporary wounds from you, and it gives them a bonus of 10% to armor for 1 round. This ability doesn't stack, and it's not impactful enough to be appealing to me. Be Vigilant gives all allies under the effects of your abilities a bonus to weapon skill equal to twice your fellowship bonus, and attacks of opportunity by those allies will have increased damage equal to your fellowship bonus until the end of your turn. If you have several melee-focused allies, this is a talent to consider. Inspiring Speech causes your Air of Authority ability to provide momentum equal to the target's resolve. Personally, I don't focus directly on momentum. Instead, I focus on killing enemies, which quickly generates momentum, so I skip this, but it might fit your playstyle. Survive causes targets of To Me to take 15% less damage until the beginning of your next turn. Targets taking their turn while under this effect will double it, causing them to take 30% less damage. Again, I don't think To Me is worth it, so I skip this as well. Wounds Are Not an Excuse causes Get Back into the Fight to remove 1 fresh injury from the target and heals them for half your willpower bonus for each condition that Get Back in the Fight removed. The ally will always heal for at least half of your willpower bonus. Fresh injuries are easy to remove, and I don't let negative statuses stack on allies, so personally I skip this. Watch Yourself causes targets of Move, Move, Move to gain a 10% bonus to dodge and a 10% bonus to cover efficiency until the beginning of your next turn. This is okay, but personally I skip it. Prepare for Assault allows you to use Break Their Ranks on an ally even if they don't have any adjacent enemies. This can be a fantastic way to buff an ally right before they are going to engage a group of enemies at one time, but I focus more on ranged combat, so I skip this. Finally, Steady causes Take Aim to increase the damage of the next ranged attack by 2% for each cell between the attacker and the target. A boss-killing sniper skill gets even better. If you have a ranged expert who can make the most of this, then definitely pick it up. At level 4, you will get your Heroic Act and Desperate Measure. Your Heroic Act is called It's Your Time, and it lets you give one ally an additional turn with full action and movement points. They will also have no limits on attacks. Monster skill, that is an absolute room clear if you apply it properly. Your Desperate Measures skill still gives you all the benefits, but it will also cut your leadership's fellowship score in half until the end of combat. If you are not absolutely sure combat is about to end, this is undoubtedly a huge drawback. Leader will provide you with 2 opportunities to upgrade your heroic act, and you will choose from a list of 4 options. The first upgrade causes your ally to deal additional damage equal to half your fellowship bonus, and they gain the effects of voice of command until the end of your turn. Both of these are fantastic buffs, and I definitely recommend choosing this upgrade. The second upgrade causes all negative effects to be cleansed from a character, and until the end of your next turn, that target cannot die. Obviously, this is useful if a critical character is in a bad spot, but personally, I skip this option. The next upgrade gives an ally temporary wounds in an amount equal to 3 times your fellowship bonus. There are a bunch of different ways to heal, and I don't think you should use an upgrade to do that. The final upgrade causes kills made by that ally to provide 1 action point and 1 movement point a number of times equal to your fellowship bonus. The ally can also redirect this ability to another ally with the remaining action points and movement points. Another fantastic option that I would probably recommend you pick up first. That completes my walkthrough of leader mechanics. Please let me know down in the comments if there's any other content for this game you are looking for. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. Take care.